Hey guys, how are you all? So today I am going to explain episode 11 of Peter Grill. So without any hesitation, let's start the episode. The episode begins with a battle between Vegan and Eldoria that begins right away. Both of them were throwing spells at each other fiercely. But then Eldoria sees that the Vegan has disappeared, and suddenly the Vegan comes behind her and suddenly starts touching her. And because Eldoria's body had become very sensitive, she starts overreacting a bit too much. Vegan, on the other hand, was making fun of her. But suddenly it comes into Vegan's mind that she is going to end the game now, and that is a very big one. The spell completes its cast. Before she can cast that spell on Eldoria, Peter suddenly comes in between. He says that I am on the side of both of you, but the one who is Vegan here, her spell is completely, and she throws it aside. But then it is shown that another elf reaches there, and this is the same elf who had come to Eldoria some time ago. And she was insulting her whole family a lot. While asking for money, Peter on the other side immediately takes position and put on that spell. He does a karate chop and instantly heads its direction as well, and that was the spell. Directly that person feels that she flies in the air with the spell. See, Eldoria is very much. She became happy, but the Vegan on the other side was not happy at all. Peter goes to Eldoria and the Vegan goes back. They begin to quarrel. And here they were deciding who would do the job of ambassador, that is, you understand. What are these people talking about? Peter tries to stop both of them, but both of them refuse to stop. But then suddenly her grandmother comes there and she notices that there is even more. There has been devastation, and after seeing this she gets a little upset. Peter tells them both to calm down, because if their grandmother sees them fighting like this, she will get even more angry. She will get upset, and they definitely would not want this. But Eldoria suddenly starts talking about how her sister is very selfish. She has always been making mistakes, but she has never accepted her mistakes. Peter explains to her how the Vegan has realized her mistake, and that's why she's so grateful. She has been after her for some time. And after hearing this, Eldoria does not believe it at all. But Peter immediately signals the Vegan to apologize quickly. And here the Vegan suddenly calms down and she starts crying and asks for forgiveness from her sister. After seeing this, Eldoria is very surprised that her sister is apologizing to her. But then suddenly she goes straight and starts calming her sister down. And seeing this here, Peter also becomes very happy. But after calming him down, Eldoria suddenly punches in the face, and that Peter gets completely shocked. But Eldoria says that now I am feeling a little better. But she tells her that saying sorry won't fix anything. But I accept it, and seeing this, their grandmother also becomes very happy that now there is a relationship between both of them. Both of them are back together, and now the time has come that both of them will use their magic, and after that, we will look at her inheritance and see what his great-grandfather has left behind. It went there for them. They do their magic on it, and after that they enter the cave, but that there was nothing inside it. As he moves forward a little, she gets a message from his grandfather which was on Unity, and that message, I want to see the faces of both of them after listening to it. And here we can see Peter's face in fear because grandfather has not kept some money. He just lost the knowledge of Unity and went away, and now he has no other way apart from a strong spring, and that is why both of them were now after Peter. And Peter here also understood that now he is going to be destroyed, and the other side we have to tell the other girls. Those who have reached there are also shown. As soon as they enter there, they see that Peter is lying happily with both the sisters, and after seeing this all those people become very angry. And here everyone's reactions were different, but Gobo was very happy because she had a family. She has grown even more, and the people who were left here were getting angry and criticizing her because now they're going to get even less time, and the Vegan here was doing whatever she wanted all by herself. Then things take an even worse turn as everyone goes straight over Peter. Then the scene cuts from there and we are shown Lovelia, who is having dinner with her father. Her father tries to manipulate Lovlia a little. While speaking, the Lovlia here does not listen to anything he says. Then he tells that the next day he is going to give Peter a very important task, and he thinks in his mind. It is known that Peter is about to be eliminated now. Then we are shown the scene of the next day where Lovlia's father tells Peter that he has this sword. We'll have to take it to Dwarven Kingdom, because this is their tradition of guild, and by going there they have to demonstrate their skills as well. And that is why the relationship between them is much better. Then he starts telling the history of how the Sextules are natural predators of the dwarf are. And many years ago, because of this sword, his guildmate defeated a secret agent and Dwarf Kingdom was saved, and since then a friendship was signed between them, and every year as comes here. In the ritual, they kill an artificial secret mole with the help of this sword, and then they start telling that how this sword is very important for all of them because this is generation. The sword is passed down, and here he gives Peter the responsibility to take this sword to the Dwarf Kingdom. Because the ceremony here is going to start in just a week. And he also promises Peter that if he is successful in this task, then his marriage will happen with Lovlia. On hearing this, even Peter was very surprised at how this guy agreed so quickly, and even he was more surprised than me. How can I promise on this matter? We are then shown Peter at his home with team, where he tells the team about everything, and after that he starts posing a little with the short. And here the team tells him to be a little sensible, because if his sword breaks, his dream will also break. At the end of marrying her, that sword breaks at that very moment. And seeing this, both of them get quite shocked. But then the team notices that this sword has been tampered with so that it breaks easily, and sure, the guild master is behind this, Peter. He was completely confused about what he should do next. But then we are shown that Peter is going to a dwarf kingdom with a broken sword so that he can get there quickly. So that he can reach there and get his sword repaired from a good blacksmith. He does reach there. Then we are shown an unknown girl who was doing research on something, and here there was a shortage of funding, and she was even saying that she needed help from the strongest man in the world. We are then shown Peter trying to extract information from people, but he can't find anything. The information is not available. But as soon as they hear the name of the guild, they get very angry. Let's go. Then after a little investigation he finds out about a girl who can fix this. Then we are also shown the girl whose name is Mythalin, and here her father is very close to her. They were dragging her out of the house because she does not do any work and just lies here at home. And then Peter also reaches there running. Mythalin says that she wants to become a researcher and does not want to do any physical lab, which shocks her on hearing this. The father leaves him there and says that he will not even get the allowance. And hearing this, Mythalin gets quite shocked because without money she cannot continue her research. She can do that, and her father leaves from there. Mythalin was reciting the shloka, but then Peter comes from behind and she gets very scared after seeing him. But as soon as she comes to know that this is Peter, she becomes very happy on hearing that he is the strongest guy. So I reached there immediately. After that Peter shows her the sword and asks her if she can fix the sword. Mythalin looks at the sword for a bit and then tells that her father's crew gave this sword to her. She says she can fix this thing and asks Peter to follow her. And Mythalin takes Peter to an underground laboratory. And after seeing the technology around him, Peter is very surprised. This is a magical technology and it must have taken a lot of time to make it. Hearing this, Mythalin tells that yes, she has made all this up after doing a little research on her own. Peter. He asks why there is so much garbage here. Then Mythalin starts telling him that you must have heard that I want to become a researcher and not do physical lab. Then she starts talking angrily about how she will make her own weapons and then go after her old father. She will leave him so that she can shut his mouth forever, and then she starts telling Peter that she can fix the sword. But she also wants some things in return because she is currently working on a project. The better the genetics, the better the work will be, and according to her research, Peter is the best for work. And after hearing this, Peter also gets shocked that why is everybody after him? And she needs at least 20 gallons, and after hearing this Peter becomes even more crazy. But then he starts telling Mythilin that you are still very young, you should not talk about all these things. But Mythilin immediately starts telling him that she is an adult and that too she is 32 years old. After hearing this, Peter becomes even more excited because he is much older than her. And then she starts saying that I am not going to take out the liquid anyway, and she presses a button and there is a robot arrives. And she tells that this robot is going to do all the work. Peter can't believe what is going on. The robot here is exactly like Peter. She starts following me. And here Peter also starts running away from her. Mythilin also immediately closes the door of her laboratory. And those doors won't open until the work is completely finished. That robot was hell-bent on chasing Peter. And here she was about to come right next to Peter, but Peter suddenly hit her with a rod on his face. And the robot here suddenly gets a short circuit. And because of this, the robot immediately goes after Mythilin. Mythilin reaches Peter out of fear. And both of them suddenly reach a room in which a bed was also kept. That robot detects that the requirement of a male and a female has been fulfilled. And that gate also closes. And that gate was not going to open till then. Until their work is finished, and in this way this episode ends. Guys, tell us in the comments how you liked this episode, and if you liked the video then like the video and also please subscribe to the channel.